they reckon that they have conclusively worked out what is the most difficult sport in the world to play. Of all the sports, there's so many sports, all right? What is the hardest of them all?
I mean, it's a conversation I've had with my friends, a conversation I've had with my brother. It's also a great conversation to have with people who've gone far in a particular sport
Exactly.
too, because they're coming from a certain perspective.
So all the criteria for this is physicality of the sport, all right? Technicality
Skill.
of the sport, skill, exactly. Stamina required in the sport. Hand-eye coordination in the sport. And then other things that I think of is how good can a beginner, for somebody that has never done the sport, to go and jump in, how easy is it for them to just not have any success, but just have fun and just kind of be able to play the sport. Then I thought of another thing is how hard in that sport to achieve, I don't know what the word would be, but the perfect shot, the perfect play, the 100% excellence.
And we also have to be fair, right? Because just by the nature of some sports, it may lean more into one category. So, yes, you know, you can pick up a tennis racket and we can have a little hit about.
In December,
But to reach the pinnacle of the sport and be a tennis great,
when a serve is coming at you at 170 k's an hour,
indeed.
but that perfect shot or perfect play, like for instance, in soccer it might be getting a hat trick of goals in a game. In cricket it might be smashing six sixes in an over. If you're a bowler, it's a 5-wicket haul. If it's a snooker player, it's a 1-4-7 break. It's a total clearance.
Gymnastics, perfect 10.
Can a beginner do any of that? No.
Yeah.
Again, the snooker halls, they always told us that snooker was the most difficult ball sport in the world. Doesn't even make the top 10 yet. Let me get you started here for you to think. At number 10, football.
Right.
Soccer. You might think, but you're kicking soccer ball, anyone can do that. No, but can you achieve it at the highest level? Let me tell you, it is so competitive. There are so many people wanting to be in that space. It's the most popular sport in the world. To get to that 1% level is one of the hardest things. But it only comes in at 10.
At 10. So I consider gymnastics top 5 most difficult sports.
Gymnastics comes in
Yeah.
at 8.
Okay. And for a couple of reasons. One, I won't be able to do gymnastics after this show ends and I want to go try it out, you know, at my local gym. Second of all, there's just so much to it.
But it is a sport that if you get it wrong, it does involve death.
And even one of the great gymnasts of all time, Simone Biles, had to take a step back from the sport because of the mental toll that it takes. Because moves can lead to injury or death.
Okay, so look, gymnastics is 8.
Okay, I'm going to throw one into the hat, or 2. I'm going to go with horse riding and boxing.
I agree with one of those.
With the boxing.
With the boxing.
Horse riding is not...
In the top 10.
No. I've
No
struggled
question.
riding a horse.
Yeah.
Yeah, I mean,
It's not
I
easy.
really don't think that it is something that just any of us
No, you
can
can't.
do with a
Sure.
drop of a hat.
At that level, absolutely not.
No, you absolutely can't. All right, let's just take some messages here on the WhatsApp telephone.
The most difficult sport I can give my 5 cents to is golf. That game can humble you.
In my honest opinion, the most difficult sport to play professionally in the whole world has to be F1.
I'd say big wave surfing is probably the hardest thing for me.
I would say ice hockey.
F1,
Hockey.
big wave surfing, neither of those are on there. We can all drive a car.
No.
We can all drive a car.
No.
Wait, okay, that'll be a different debate.
Ice hockey actually comes in at number 2. So think about it. Think about it. I mean, ice hockey, you got to skate and you got to do that ball, and that ball moves at 3,000 k's an hour. It's as fast as Halley's Comet, right? Soccer comes in at 10. 9 is basketball.
Yeah.
All right. Gymnastics is at 8. Tennis is at 7.
Yes, I wanted to say tennis because I feel like people forget that yes, you can pick up a racket and hit it across a net, but the mental fortitude, the skill set, the endurance, one of the few sports that also doesn't have a time limit. A game can technically go on for days and days.
MMA comes in at 6. Mixed martial arts. Our Drickus Duplessis, right? At 5 is wrestling.
Respect the wrestlers.
Yeah. Let's just see what you say here on the WhatsApp telephone.
I say figure skating.
We think base jumping.
Well, I'm hoping rugby is in that top 10 list because it's an extremely technical and physically enduring sport.
No, rugby's not there, but rugby might tie in with number 3.
Yeah.
Okay, which is American football. There's been a big debate about American football versus rugby. Let me tell you, American football is much more physical. Yes, they wear pads and all that sort of stuff. I promise you. Scientists have also worked this one out. Rugby players that have played in both rugby and NFL have come out all the time saying NFL is much harder, it's more physical, it's more technical, it's like chess. Okay.
Yeah, because rugby was in my top 3.
Yeah.
I consider it one of the hardest.
But we will put rugby in there.
We will.
We will fast track it in. At number 2, it is ice hockey, which I already revealed, which was guessed. Number 1, what can it be? What sports are left? Well, let me tell you. We have got one of, in his weight division, the world champ is here. The world champ is here. South African superstar boxer, Kevin Lerena.
Good morning, Darren and team.
The hardest sport in the world.
The hardest of them all, hey?
They've told me this. But look, I think all sports are relatively difficult in their own right. I mean, the sports you're listing there, ice hockey, rugby, NFL, very dangerous sports where, brain injuries and obviously the entire body injuries are there as well. Boxing too. So it's all relative. But I could understand why boxing is difficult. Maybe because I do it, I don't really realize how difficult it is because I've been doing it for like 11, 12 years as a professional. And if I had to go try another discipline or another sport, it might be very difficult for me. But maybe for someone from the outside coming in, it is one of the most difficult sports because if you had to look at what you need to do to accomplish, you need skills, you need endurance, you need hand-eye coordination, you need timing, you need heart, will, and then obviously you need a chin, so you don't get sparked out every time you get hit. And
I've done some boxing in the gym for fitness, and let me tell you, one round you spent.
Yeah, no, I do boxing once a week to keep fit. It's a lot of fun, but I'm fighting for my life every single week.
Yeah. And now you come up against another trained gladiator, a Spartan like Kevin.
To do it week in, week out, the training, the preparation, the mental fortitude. My goodness.
I think the hardest part of boxing is not the getting up and getting to the gym every day and sparring 10 or 12 rounds every second day when you're preparing for a fight. The hardest part's not getting hit. It's keeping your head strong because not every day is going to be a good day. Yes, there's the endurance aspect, the muscle endurance as well as the aerobic capacity. But one thing I can tell you is that the mental aspect, for me, is the hardest part of the sport because you got to show up every day. Yesterday you had a bad spar. You sparred 12 rounds. You probably got your handed to you for 7, and you got to rock up today with a new mind, a clean slate to say, let's focus on what we have to do for the fight.
Fantastic, champ. We're always watching. Kevin Lerena, world.
Thank you for always supporting.
Pleasure, brother. Pleasure, man. World Bridgerweight champion right here on the radio in the most difficult sport in the world.